Many pundits believe that former basic cable actress Meghan Markle has an interest in holding public office. This has some people alarmed and just plain terrified that a former briefcase carrier could actually be in a position of power. It's royal expert Richard Palmer who thinks both Meghan Markle and her house husband Prince Harry should tread carefully in regard to expectations about playing a role in US politics. First of all, they should think about ditching the Duke and Duchess titles, but that's another story. He told Royal Roundup that he doesn't believe Princess Pinocchio should use a royal name to try and advertise for the US midterm election. He said, "I think it's a slightly dangerous game, but not as dangerous as it was when Donald Trump was still president." And that was the real problem, that the UK was trying to negotiate a post-Brexit trade deal with the US, which seems so far off. Remember when Brexit was a piece of cake compared to Megxit? Back in the day, notes Palmer, there was huge consternation at Buckingham Palace because although Meghan has never said which way to vote, she was taking part in a campaign to get people to register to vote and against voter suppression. And rightly or wrongly, that was seen as essentially being a Democrat-leaning campaign. He went on to say, "And I think that you have to remember that when they quit, they volunteered. They weren't, as far as I understand it, asked to make this pledge. They volunteered that they would uphold the values of the then Queen. Queen Elizabeth died this September, and her eldest child Charles is now monarch." Palmer added of the royal runaways, "Embarrassing the UK in a foreign country isn't upholding the Queen's values. I would say it's less of an issue at the moment, because there's a Democratic president and so it's unlikely to affect diplomatic relations in the same way. But it's still highly dangerous territory. Royal fans would say that the thirsty pair have gone beyond embarrassing the UK. They've trashed it with verbal fusilage." Clothing suggesting Meghan Markle could throw a hat into the political ring for the 2024 US presidential elections has been ridiculed on social media. Nearly 2/3 of respondents feel the Democrats should choose a female candidate for president in the 2024 election. More than a quarter of 1,500 prospective Democrat voters said Meghan would be their choice from a list of potential candidates. This meant that Meghan came out on top of the current Vice President, Kamala Harris. It was announced earlier this week that the Sussexes were to receive an award from the Robert F. Kennedy Foundation, which champions human rights. Reacting to the announcement, one Twitter user posted an image of a black t-shirt bearing the slogan, Meghan 2024. They called the suggestion of a presidential bid bonkers, with another social media user replying, "If she's taken seriously, then America is really in a lot of trouble." According to Charles Moore, a columnist for The Telegraph, the royal family won't support Markle's political ambitions. The royal family wouldn't allow Markle to be a president while still using the HRH title. The US won't accept HRH President Meghan. Her husband, of course, is His Royal Highness, so I do not see how he could be the first gentleman if his wife were to enter the White House. This column has worried before that Meghan is riding for a fall in the way she wields a title in America, Moore said.